Me to share what I know or a little pastime about Srimati Radharani.
So let's have everyone join, and then I'll make an announcement after we start record. Okay. Oh, we have already started record. Okay. Okay. So we have everyone on call.
Yes. Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Vrindavan Mukunda.
Hey, Krishna Vrindavan Mukunda. And
You
welcome.
can wait for a minute, Mataji.
Yeah, that's what I thought, so that more people join and then we'll start.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Wait for one more minute and then we will start.
Hare Krishna Mataji. This is Milka.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. This is Ishita.
Hare Krishna Mika. Hare Krishna Ishita.
Hare Krishna Mataji. This is Nandini.
Hare Krishna Nandini.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
This is Ramachandra.
Hare Krishna Ram.
Hare Krishna Mataji. This is Varun.
Hare Krishna Balram.
Hare Krishna Mataji. This is Srilasi.
Krishna Shala.
Hare Krishna Mataji. This is Shubhadra and Kirtai.
Bhadra and Giridhari. Hare Krishna. Very, very nice. So thank you all so much for joining our Govinda class. So whose appearance day is tomorrow?
Radharani.
So we are going to have a special series on Srimati Radharani. So we're going to have lots of pastimes, artwork, and stories, and maybe some craft work and quizzes and lots of things about Srimati Radharani. Okay, so today we have a special speaker with us, and that is Indu Mataji. She is going to tell you a story about Srimati Radharani, followed by a special talk by Lalitangi Radha Mataji about the Tattva or who Srimati Radharani is. So that's what we're going to hear today. So Indu Mataji, you can take over. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Very nice to be with all of you today. And we are going to set the mood for Radhashtami. So today we'll start with a small pastime on the appearance of Srimati Radharani. Okay, can I get to the next slide? So let's start with the prayers together. All of us can sing it together.
Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Yam Sri Saraswati Devi Gurvani Pachadini Nivishesha Shudavadi Pasatya Jeshadai Chaitanya Prabhupada Chadvita Kadala Shri Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Nityananda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Rama Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare.
So a lot of you might know about the pastimes of Srimati Radharani, but still we'll go through the appearance pastimes. Now, in many different scriptures, there are different variations of Srimati Radharani's appearance. So we are going to talk about two different descriptions from different scriptures. So in the Lalita Madhava, Srila Rupa Goswami, he has written a pastime about the appearance of Srimati Radharani. Can you hear me, Mataji? Is this okay?
We can hear you, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So in that, Srila Rupa Goswami, he is talking about the pastime of the appearance of Srimati Radharani as related to Purnamasi, okay, by Garga Muni's daughter, Gargi. So this talks about first a mountain called Vindhya Parvata. So Vindhya Parvata was a little jealous of the Himalayas because he had received Parvati Devi as his daughter and she was married to the great Mahadeva, right? So he was getting a little jealous. So he also wanted a daughter who is so brilliant and who is very auspicious and whose husband is able to defeat Lord Mahadeva in a battle. So because of this, Vindhya Parvata, he decided to take up severe austerities and he started doing penance. That's what everyone does when they want to get a material boon, right? They do severe austerities, they try to please a demigod and they try to receive whatever boon they want. So he does this prayer, he does severe austerity and he tries to please Lord Brahma. So now Lord Brahma, he comes after, being very happy with his penance. And so he asks him, okay, what is it that you seek, Vindhya Parvat? So immediately Vindhya Parvat said that he wants to have a daughter who carried the blessing that her spouse, her husband would, whomever she is getting married to, he would be able to defeat Lord Mahadeva in battle. So Brahma, he was so happy, he was so pleased. So what did he say? He said, Tathastu, so be it. So Vindhya Parvat was very delighted. He was very happy.
Very, very.
And he goes his way. And Lord Brahma also goes his way. He goes back to his world. What happens then? Lord Brahma realizes, oh my God, what have I done here? Who can actually defeat Mahadeva in battle? And he started thinking, what can I do? Whom should I actually seek, prayers and blessings from? So then he realized, oh, Lord Krishna is going to appear on earth and he is going to start his earthly pastimes very soon. So let me ask, of course, Lord Krishna can defeat anyone, right? He is the supreme. So he can easily defeat Mahadeva also in battle. So he thought, let me please Srimati Radharani and let me pray to her. Let me pray to her. She is the eternal consort of Lord Krishna. And so if I seek a blessing from her, she will definitely come and she will appear as the daughter of Vindhya Parvat. And so he prays. He also starts doing penance in order to fulfill the boon that he gave to Vindhya Parvat. And so then once he starts doing penance, Srimati Radharani, she comes being very pleased with Lord Brahma. And he requests, oh my dear Radharani, please can you appear as the daughter of Vindhya Parvat. Now what is the confusion here? Srimati Radharani's eternal parents are, do you know?
Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Devi.
Yes.
Yes. So they are her eternal parents. If she comes to this material world also, they will only have to appear as her parents. So how can he make Vindhya Parvat her father, right? So what he has to do, that's why he was praying to Srimati Radharani, and all of this has to happen only by her will and by Yogamaya's help. So she says, okay, that is fine. I will take care of everything. And the baby that was actually going to be born in Rishabhanu Maharaj's wife, Kirtida Mata's womb, she gets transferred to Vindhya Parvat's wife. Okay. And so that way, Srimati Radharani is born as the daughter of Vindhya Parvat. Vindhya Parvat is very happy with this. So he and his wife are very happy. Okay. Now we'll keep that aside for a moment and see what is happening in Mathura. In Mathura, by this time, okay, King Kamsa has already put Devaki and Vasudeva behind bars. You know this entire story. And he's waiting for Lord Krishna to be born. Now Lord Krishna is born, he appears, and after Lord Krishna appears, Vasudeva, he takes Lord Krishna to Gokul and he brings the baby girl from there back to the prison. So once Kamsa comes to know about this, Kamsa, as usual, he comes to the prison house to get rid of this baby too. But Yogamaya, we all know, she miraculously escapes and she appears in front of him in her ferocious form, and she tells Kamsa, she reveals so many things that, okay, the person you are looking for is already born somewhere, but she also reveals that there will be very effulgent, beautiful baby girls that are born, okay, that are going to appear, and whoever is going to get married to them will be very powerful. So he is going to now start planning to somehow destroy those girls also. So he sends out an order to Putana so that she can poison all the little newborn baby boys, and at the same time he asks her to also abduct or kidnap the little baby girls that are born. So with this mission, Putana now goes all around and she's now doing that too. So she goes to Vindhya Parvat's place, and there she sees that these very effulgent baby girls are there. So she kidnaps the babies from there, okay, from Vindhya Parvat's place, while he is actually doing the special birth pujas. So Vindhya Parvat, when the baby goes missing, he gets very upset, and so he asks the Brahmin priests who are there to actually continue chanting and chant mantras so that Putana's strength can be weakened, because Putana takes the baby and she flies away. So Vindhya Parvat could not do anything. So he tells the Brahmanas, so because of the Brahmanas chanting of the mantra, Putana becomes weaker and weaker, and she's slowly losing her strength. Now, when she reaches Vrajbhumi, she totally falls down to the ground, and the baby is also left in Vrindavan. So this baby is then retrieved by Purnamasi Devi, and she recovers this baby and she gives it to Kirtida Mata's mother, okay, Mukhara. And she says, okay, you have to, this is your son-in-law Rishabhanu Maharaj's baby, you need to go and give it to him, you take care of her. So in this way, Srimati Radharani, she became the daughter of King Rishabhanu. Okay, so this is one version of the story that we have from Lalita Madhava. Now there is
two of them.
There is another description of Srimati Radharani's appearance, and I think this is a more commonly spoken pastime, so a lot of you would already know this. Rishabhanu Maharaj was living in Raval at this time, and he and Kirtida Mata were really doing everything they can, they were praying, they were trying to seek and blessings of various lords, Devi, everyone to actually have a baby. So but after many years, just like Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata, who were childless for a long time, Rishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Devi also did not have any children for a very long time. So one day, Rishabhanu Maharaj, he went to the waters of Yamuna and he was meditating in the waters. When what happened? All of a sudden, while he was immersed in this deep meditation, there is a lotus that actually, 1,000-petal lotus that comes towards him and it touches his body. Now, feeling that, Rishabhanu Maharaj immediately he opens his eyes and he sees this bright effulgence around him. And then when he looks closer, he sees that there is a beautiful 1,000-petaled lotus in front of him. So he was wondering, oh, is this where the effulgence is coming from? And when he looks closer, he sees a molten gold colored baby girl lying within the lotus. And so he sees this baby, and even before he makes any decision, Lord Brahma appears in the sky and he places the baby girl in Rishabhanu's arms. So before that, he appears and he will tell Rishabhanu Maharaj that see, you and Kirtida Mata, both of you have performed severe austerities in your previous life. And in order to get the consort of Lord Krishna as your daughter. So as a result of that, you now have this beautiful baby girl, okay, who is Srimati Radharani, and you will have to take her to your home. She is for you to raise. So saying this, Lord Brahma, he hands over the baby to Rishabhanu Maharaj. Now Rishabhanu Maharaj, he is so happy, especially because it's after such a long time, and that too he's got Srimati Radharani itself as his own daughter. So he very happily he goes to his to Raval, to his home, and he offers this baby to Kirtida Mata. Now seeing this beautiful baby, she's shining, right? She's shining like millions of moons, autumn moons. Kirtida Mother was so happy. She was very elated, and she arranges for many ritualistic sacrifices to be performed. She asks for for many thousands of cows to be donated to the brahmanas, and they are celebrating the birth of this beautiful baby. After a few days or after some time, they realize that although this baby is very effulgent, she has not made a sound and she has not opened her eyes till now. So what they do is they are starting to get very worried. They start thinking that this baby is both blind and deaf, and she cannot speak either. So they are very worried. At that time, Narada Muni comes to their place. He visits their home, and he informs Rishabhanu Maharaj that you don't worry whatever has happened to the baby or whatever you think is wrong with the baby. It's all okay. You need to celebrate her birth with great pomp. Okay, you need to have a big festival out for her birthday. So Rishabhanu Maharaj, he says, okay, fine, he will do that. And so he sends out invitations to all the people in Vrindavan, all the people in Raval, in Gokul, and he especially invites his dearest friend. We know Nanda Maharaj and Rishabhanu Maharaj are both very good friends. So he invites them. And so now Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya, they of course will arrive with their two darling boys, and Rohini Mata also comes, and they bring their little children, Balram and Lord Krishna. So all of them are so busy in the celebrations, and Kirtida Mata is very happy to meet Yashoda Maya. They both have had children and they are all very happy and discussing different things. And at that time, Krishna, they say he was around 1 year at that time. We need to confirm that. So he was crawling all around the courtyard, and he started crawling. He started crawling and towards this little beautiful cot that Srimati Radharani was lying in. And so he crawls and he slowly tries to hold himself and lift himself up. And look at who is lying in this cradle. And the moment his gaze fell on the beautiful face of Srimati Radharani, what happened? Her eyes opened up. How did that happen? She could get the very transcendental smell of Krishna. And smelling that, Srimati Radharani knew that this is Lord Krishna himself. And immediately she opened her eyes and looked straight at Lord Krishna. And seeing this, Krishna was so ecstatic. He started smiling even more. And immediately Radharani, she started crying very loudly. Now that's also a very good sign, right? Because it was said that she could not speak, she could not hear, right? So for the very first time, she made a sound too. Everyone came, Rishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Mata, along with all the Vrajvasis, were very happy. And to see that Srimati Radharani did not have any problems, right? She could see, she could hear, and she was totally fine. So they were overjoyed to know that. Okay, so these are the two stories on the appearance of Srimati Radharani. Now I just wanted to show you the birthplace, Raval. So this is the Ladli Lal temple that is there in Raval, and this is the deity of Srimati Radharani, okay, where she is actually in the crawling pose. When they were in Goloka Vrindavan, Radharani was actually told by Lord Krishna that Srimati Radharani was told by Lord Krishna that, okay, it is almost time for us to descend to go and start exhibiting our pastimes in the material world. So be prepared, he said. He asked Radharani. Radharani says, is there anything? Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So Radharani says that, okay, I'll come, but only if if there are three things in this material world. I need Vrajbhumi, I need Govardhan mountain, Govardhan Parvat, and I need the river Yamuna. It's only in a place that has these three that I will come. So Lord Krishna tells her, and you can see, okay, so the first picture on your left is Vrajbhumi, Vrindavan.
Vrindavan.
Yes. And the middle one is a picture of Yamuna.
Yamuna.
Clean water.
And then on the right side you have
Govardhan.
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 Govardhan Hill.
And then
yeah. Krishna tells her that no need to worry. All of this has been arranged for you. You just need to appear in Vrindavan Dham and everything will be good. Okay. So that was from Garga Samhita. And so why is Srimati Radharani so important for us? We know that when we are chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, what does Hare mean?
Radhe. Radharani. Radharani. Radhe.
Yes, she is the internal energy.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yes.
Radha Rani, Radha Rani.
So she is the mother of this entire universe, right? If Krishna is our father, Srimati Radharani is the mother. And she is all of our spiritual mother. So our sacred mantra, it starts with Hare. And meaning that, oh, and of the Lord.
Krishna.
Radhe, yes. Okay, it is a, just once. It is a cry to our dearest mother. We are in this nightmare, right? We are in this mortal life. We need to wake up. We need to wake up and go back home where we actually belong. So we are pleading with Srimati Radharani to remind us of Lord Krishna, of our Father. And we are asking her for her mercy so that she can help us go back home, go back to Krishna, go back to Godhead. Now, on the day of Radhashtami, there is something very special that happens all across. We know that on this very auspicious day of, that is tomorrow, you will be able to see the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani in all the temples. So you all can take darshan, right? Normally we see that she has a very long flowing skirt, so we cannot see the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. But tomorrow, many of us would get the opportunity to take the darshan of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. Okay? Wishing you all a very beautiful, very auspicious Radhashtami. I would like to end here. Vansha kalpata rubhyascha kripa
Pitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna Mataji, bye.
Okay, listen. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for the class.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much. Now we have the next part of the session where we will learn about Radharani Tattva from Lalitangi Radha Mataji. So before that, did you all enjoy this class by Indu Mataji? Did you all enjoy it?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. We all enjoyed it. We all enjoyed the class, Mataji.
Very well. So now we understood the appearance of Srimati Radharani. Now we have to understand who exactly is
I
Radharani.
smell the vanilla.
You smell
I
the
can
vanilla?
smell the vanilla.
Vanilla from where?
So smelly.
Okay, so now we are going to hear about the Tattva, who Radharani is. Okay, after we had a nice session of Katha, we're now going to get into some philosophy for these tiny brains. Okay, go ahead, Mataji.
Mataji, can you make me host or co-host so I can share screen?
Yes, I'll do that. Somebody has to do it. I can't do it. Can someone do it? Okay, they are trying to do it. Okay. Yes, you're done. You're the host.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes,
Mataji.
You have to hit enable editing so that you can run the show.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Oh, now you have to share again. Sorry.
Yeah.
Perfect, Mataji.
Okay. So you're able to see?
Yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Such a nice.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Indu Mataji, I really enjoyed your class. So,
Hare Krishna
so sweet. Like how Radharani is born, so sweet.
Lalita Mataji.
Class. Okay, so you all we all heard nice story about the appearance of Radharani. some pastime. So we will see who is Srimati Radharani. So Radharani is, who's Radharani? Who's Srimati Radharani?
The energy of Lord Krishna.
Yes, the energy of Lord
Lord
Krishna.
Krishna.
And she is also Krishna's pleasure.
Krishna's friend.
Potency.
Krishna's
Yeah,
potency.
so she is Krishna's pleasure potency.
Dearest friend.
So what do you mean by that? When Krishna wants to enjoy, Krishna has she is Krishna's energy. She is Krishna's potency. That
Krishna's dearest devotee.
yes, that gives Krishna enjoyment. So in spiritual world, everything is spiritual. In the material world, we are living, and there are some things living and there are some things non-living. So the non-living things, they don't have what? And the living things have what? Can you say?
Mataji, the living things can breathe and talk,
Yes, very
and
good.
the non-living things can't move and can't talk.
Very nice, Keshavi. That's right. So why the living things are able to move and talk and non-living things not able to move?
They have life.
They have a soul.
What is that?
Because they have the soul.
Very
They have the spirit soul.
yes, because they are
Mataji,
we all are soul and we have the body. But the non-living things, they don't have soul inside. But in Krishna's world, there is nothing called non-living or matter. Everything is spiritual. Everything is living. So Krishna's potency or energy also is a person. So that person is Srimati Radharani. So the word Rani is queen. Radha means one who is the topmost worshipper. It comes from the word Aradhana. Aradhana means worship. And one who is the best worshipper of Krishna is Srimati Radharani. Okay. So what do you mean by pleasure potency? You see, Krishna has three.
Mataji,
Yes.
it means that when Krishna wants to enjoy, he always calls for that potency, so he can like enjoy.
Yes, very nice. Krishna is completely spiritual. So, and he's fully independent and he's filled in himself. So, something that he has to enjoy is also himself only. So, that potency, when he manifests so beautifully, Preeti Vilasi Mataji has made this thing. See how we can see within Krishna's eyes is Srimati Radharani, and within Radharani's eyes, we can see Lord Sri Krishna. Very good. So, is Radha and Krishna two different persons?
No, Mataji. No. Radha and Krishna are same persons. Radha and
Yeah.
Krishna are the same.
But then how come they are two?
Because one is the energy and the other is the energetic.
One of them is the energy and one of them is the provider.
Yes. So, who is the energy? Who is the energy?
Radharani.
Radharani.
He is the energy. And Krishna is the energetic. Okay. Now listen. So, let us see what energy and energetic mean. So, the sunshine is the energy of the sun. Can everyone mute and listen? When I ask you, unmute and say, okay? The sun and the sunshine are one yet different. How do you say? So early in the morning, when you when you remove your blinds, we say let some sun come in. Basically, what is coming in is sunshine. So sunshine is not different from the sun, but still sunshine is not the sun because sun planet is so far away. So there is no sun without the sunshine. Because of sunshine only, sun is called sun. And without sun, there is no question of the existence of sunshine. So sun is compared to be the energetic Lord Sri Krishna, and sunshine is compared to be the energy, who is Srimati Radharani. So they are the same, yet they are different. It's how they cannot be separated, just like sugar and sweetness cannot be separated. Salt and saltiness cannot be separated. You cannot separate the nature or of something from that. So that's why Radha and Krishna are the same person or the same Atma in two different persons. So what does she embody? Let's see, to understand this, we will see that how many potencies Krishna has. Krishna has 3 potencies or energy. Can anyone say me what are the 3 potencies of Krishna?
Internal, external, and marginal.
Thank you so much, Indra. Thank you, Arav. So it's internal, external, and marginal. Internal energy is internal energy is the one which is a cause of his spiritual world, which maintains and manifests his spiritual world. External energy manifests what world?
Material world.
Material.
External energy manifests material world. And who is marginal energy?
The one who's in a tug of war between the two.
Yes, who is the
Middle.
who is the
Living and
living entities? So
Jiva.
they are the marginal energy. So then let's go to internal energy. Internal energy is divided again into 3 categories. It may be little hard, but it is not that hard if you listen. So you are studying about various science topics and categories when you're in first grade. So similarly, the internal energy has 3 aspects. One is Sandhini, which means existence, Samvit potency, which means knowledge, and Hladini, which means bliss. So what does Sandhini mean? So Krishna's personality or Krishna's Krishna never stops existing. Krishna is existing forever. The spiritual world is existing forever. That means Sat. That means he is the absolute truth. So that potency is called Sandhini. And Samvit, what do you mean by Samvit potency? I have knowledge of some things, but I cannot claim that I have knowledge of everything in the world. But Krishna, nothing can escape Krishna's knowledge. Everything Krishna knows. What we think, what happened here, now what's happening in South America, what's happening in Siberia, and not only in this world, what's happening in Devaloka, what's happening in Brahmaloka, what's happening down in Patala Loka, in each and every corner of the existence of not only the different planets and not only in this universe, but different universes. And that is why he's God. At any point of time, he knows everything what's happening everywhere. So he is completely knowledgeable. So that's called Chit potency. And Hladini means he is completely blissful person. So this Hladini potency, the essence of it is called love of God. Because when you like someone, when you serve someone, that's when you are in bliss. If you're all alone, suppose I give you a computer to play and you're playing Brawl Stars and other favorite games, you like to play, you like to cheat your mom and dad and just sneak out a little bit and play. But suppose you are all alone in the house and you're given the computer, and for a whole day and 2 days and 3 days, you are alone, but you have the computer and phone. Can you live? Do you think you will be happy?
yes.
Yes?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
No.
Not just 1 day. For a month, you are all alone in the house, but somebody is giving you food to eat, and then you have the computer and the phone to play. No homework, no school, but you are all alone for a month. Think about it.
No. 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 No.
That's why. So bliss means the bliss comes because of serving, and that is between two personalities, and the essence of service is love. And what happens is when somebody has love of Krishna, they have so much emotion for Krishna. As soon as they hear Krishna's holy name, tears start flowing from their eyes. Who told this? Does anyone know who told this?
What, Mataji? I didn't hear the question.
One great personality told about the emotion of love of God. So what he said is, when will that day come when I just hear your name, tears will start rolling from my eyes.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Wow, is that Moksha?
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
Moksha, so nice to see you, Moksha. That's wonderful answer. Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, what he said. Does anyone know the verse? Nayanam?
Adashratharaya.
Vadanam Gadgadharidaya Gira Pulakeni Stamba Pukada Twaram Grahane Bhavishyati.
Very, very good. So, Nayanam Galadashrudaraya. So much emotions. Just when he hears Krishna, there will be so much transformation in the body. His hair will stand on end, and tears will not just flow, it will burst. Like how when you open the tap, a gush of water comes like that, the tears will burst out from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eyes. So that's because he has that emotion, and the essence of all emotions.
Mataji, your voice is breaking.
Now is it clear?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Yes,
And the essence of all the emotion is called Mahabhava. So Mahabhava, a personality, who is the personality of Mahabhava is Srimati Radharani. So let's go back again. Krishna has three potencies: internal, external, and marginal. Internal energy again has three divisions: Sandhini, Samvit, and Hladini. Sandhini means where Krishna's personality is. Samvit means one who is he's completely knowledgeable, that potency. Hladini is completely in bliss. So the essence of Hladini potency is love of God, and the essence of love of God is emotion, and the essence of emotion is Mahabhava. It's like condensed. And then if a personality, if the Mahabhava is having a personality, that is Srimati Radharani. Now we understand? So is Radharani is also spiritual like Krishna? What do you think?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Okay, why do you
Yes,
think Radharani is spiritual?
Mataji.
Why do you think Radharani?
Mataji, because it's the
It's made from
because she's the eternal consort of Sri Krishna.
because she's the one who's made from Krishna, who is spiritual.
Very good, Pari and Ramachandra. She is the eternal concept of Krishna. She is completely all spiritual. We have, are we all spiritual?
No.
No.
Why no?
Huh?
Why are we not spiritual?
Because we don't have love for Lord Krishna.
Material body and material senses.
We're in the material world. We have
We're the material world and we have material senses. We have a
material.
Right. So we have material body and we have material senses. Our mind, our body, and ourselves, the soul, is different. The soul, ourselves, is spiritual. We are spiritual, but we are covered by the material body and material senses. But then Radharani's body, there is no difference between Radharani's body, mind, or soul. Just like Krishna, that's why it's called absolute. Absolute means Krishna, there is no difference between Krishna's body, Krishna's mind, and Krishna himself. All of them are completely spiritual, and Radharani is also completely spiritual because Radharani is coming from who? Krishna. Okay, one more quality of Radharani is that
Krishna is called, do you know the name of Krishna? That means that he's the attractor of one who attracts everyone.
Sri Madan Mohan.
Who said that? Who said that? Very good. So Krishna is called Madan Mohana because Madan is Cupid or the god of love, which who bewilders everyone, and Krishna is so attractive, so beautiful, even to the god of love who's Cupid. But there is one person who is the attractor of the all attractive Krishna.
Sri Madana Mohana Mohini.
Very good. That's perfect. So that is Srimati Radharani. Why? Because Krishna's enjoying potency, Hladini potency, condensed, is given a form, and that is Srimati Radharani. And that is why no one can match her in transcendental pastimes, because she's none other than Krishna. And Krishna is none other than Srimati Radharani. That's why both are actually one person, but in two different forms. So that is why Radharani excels Krishna in worshipping, and then Krishna thinks that, okay, I will reciprocate with her. And then, but Radharani reciprocates with Krishna more. The pastimes are so interesting. Every day it's a different adventure. Each one is trying to make up. There are so many obstacles, and they are crossing it, and they're coming and meeting, and the Sakhis are all helping. So it is so much fun. And every moment it is fun. And this fun keeps on increasing. Every day, the souls in the spiritual world are thinking, this is the best day. We had so much fun today. But then tomorrow, they will have much more fun than what they had today. Who wants to go there?
I want to Paridas.
Yes.
Ramachandra.
Advait wants to go, Mataji.
Yes. Everyone wants to go, right? Yes.
Mataji, Shavi wants to go.
Yes, everyone wants to go. So let's see what is Srimati. Let's see more about Radharani. By learning more about Sri Krishna and Srimati Radharani, we can have a desire to go. When can we go there? When can we have fun there? When can we serve them? Like that, we have to develop a desire. So you know that Krishna is a source of all blank. Fill in the blanks.
One Mataji.
All.
Krishna is a source or fountainhead of blank. What comes in blank?
Srimati Radharani.
Srimati Radharani.
No.
She is the fountainhead of the Supreme. He is the fountainhead of all the gods.
Yes, he is the fountainhead of all the gods. But one more thing, from Krishna comes as
One Mataji.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and
What? Nityananda Prabhu.
Nityananda Prabhu and
Gadadhar Pandit.
okay, all Panchatattva and
Devotees.
no, Krishna doesn't come as devotees, but Krishna comes as his
Servants.
Incarnation.
who said that? Incarnation.
Akshita.
Akshita, very good. So can you tell me some of the incarnations of Krishna?
Kurma. Narsimha.
Very good. Thank you.
Rama.
Yes, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, and Narasimha, Vamana. Incarnations.
Nandvavati.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Now, Radharani has also expansions. So there are three kinds of expansions of Srimati Radharani. First one is goddesses of fortune or Lakshmi Devis. The second expansion of Srimati Radharani is all the queens of Dwaraka. How many queens of Dwaraka are there?
1,108. 16,108 queens of Dwarka.
Yes, Pari, you're right. So it is not 1,008, it is 16,108 queens of Dwaraka. Why Krishna married 16,100 queens?
Because 16,000 were kept as captives of Dwaraka, and Krishna had to free them, and then they wanted Krishna as their husband. But the 8 queens were his main queens.
Wonderful, Pari. Wonderful. Very nice. So that those are the queens of Dwaraka, and then the top. Can everyone mute? The topmost.
Rukmini Devi, Satyabhama Devi, Jambavati Devi, Nagnajiti Devi, Satya Devi, Bhadra Devi, Rukmini Devi, Satyabhama,
Jambavati are queens of Dwaraka. And then there are gopis of Vrindavana, and among the gopis,
Keshavi, can you mute yourself?
yeah, somebody is singing so nicely. Ecstasy.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yeah.
My question is, so like what were you saying before? I couldn't hear. Hello?
I'm not able to hear your question.
I don't know who is on mute, Mataji, because it's only Khushi who is on mute.
It's Chrissy.
Yeah, but why are we able to?
Okay.
Yeah, Khushi, you can say now.
My question is, like, what were you saying before? I couldn't hear.
Okay. Okay. Did you ask?
Who is it, Mataji? Because I see everybody mute.
Yes.
Mataji, it's Sri Lakshmi.
Yeah, Mataji, it's breaking, right?
Mataji,
No, somebody is speaking, Mataji, but everybody I see on mute. I don't know whose voice it is.
Now it is clear, Mataji.
Okay, so let's, I think we have to wind up. So the foremost of is Srimati Radharani, and she herself expands as all of the above consorts of Krishna. So remember this. And then, so let's learn a very simple, easy verse for the glorification of Srimati Radharani. Govinda, Govinda Nandini.
Govinda Nandini.
Govinda Nandini.
Radha.
Nandana.
Govinda Mohini.
Govinda Nandini.
So let's repeat after me, okay? Govinda Nandini Radha. Govinda Mohini.
Govinda Nandini Radha. Govinda Nandini.
Okay, wait. So I tell the whole line. Govinda Nandini Radha. Govinda Mohini.
Nandini Radha. Govindi Nandini Radha. Govindi Mohini.
Okay, next line. Govinda Sarvasva.
Govinda Sarvakanta Shiromani.
Sarvakanta Shiromani.
Sarvakanta Shiromani.
One more time. Govinda Nandini Radha. Govinda Mohini.
Govinda Sarvasa.
Govinda Sarvasva Sarvakanta Shiromani.
Govinda
Okay. Okay, wait, Pari, can you read what is the synonyms?
Govinda Anandini, she who gives pleasure to Govinda. Radha, Srimati Radharani. Govinda Mohini, she who mystifies Govinda. Govinda Sarvasva, the all and end all of Lord Govinda. Sarvakanta, of all the Lord's lovers. Shiromani, the crown jewel.
Okay. Who else there? Samskriti, can you read the translation?
Okay, Mataji. Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda. She is also the enchantress of Govinda. She is the be-all and end-all of Govinda and the cross jewel of all his
Consorts. Very good. So can we memorize this? See, it's only 3 times Govinda is coming. Govinda Nandini Radha, Govinda Mohini, Govinda Sarvasva, Sarvakanta Shiromani. So it's so easy. You can, I think it's, I didn't put the where it is from. It's from Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can, if you Google this, you will get it. And we can all learn this simple shloka and offer it. Yes, yes, go ahead.
Govinda Nandini Radha, Govinda Mohini, Govinda Sarvakanta Shiromani, Govinda Nandini Radha.
Very good.
Mohini, Govinda Sarvasva. Mataji, can I sing the full Radha Krishna Ekatma?
Oh, you know
Hare
that?
Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji, we'll have to wind up because Madhava group will be coming, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Mataji, for giving
Bye,
me the
Mataji.
opportunity.
Bye, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for the class. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for all the class, Mataji. Bye. Thank you, Mataji. Bye, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Love
Mataji.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Radharani
The
for your
class.
blessing.
I like all the slides. They're very beautiful.
Nepyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaha.
They're waiting.
Thank you, Mataji.
Meet again with
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
nice craft. Okay.
Thank you for the class.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.